Give it just a few more minutes. It's like 30-something people that. Oh, I got people texting me. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. We got the recording for those that we missed. I've seen quite a few people I did want to get on here though. That fell off. Okay. Anybody still need more time? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start. Are you guys able to hear me? Somebody give me an okay, please.
Yes, you're good.
Okay. Yes.
All right. Good, good. All right, so I'm gonna start from scratch since we're recording. All right, so a little bit about me is the fact that I just did 30 years in prison, okay? My background is one of gang banging, drug dealing, the whole bit. When I paroled at 50 years old, I had spent all of my life behind bars since I was 12 years old, except for 14 months and 6 days. So all I knew was one way to do things. You know, it's sort of like being in the military. You learn a certain way that you do things, it becomes a pattern in what you do. Well, for me, you know, having started gang banging at 9 years old and becoming a voice of influence at such a young age, you know, my nickname in the streets became Godfather. That was the name the streets gave me. And it was because I would always, one of my strengths was how to be a soldier, how to be a follower first. Because, and you guys, if you follow my Facebook, I talk about the importance of being a follower. I think too often, you know, we're raised with this belief, I'm a leader, I'm nobody's follower. We teach that to our kids. And so we set them up on this mission as if they have all the answers in the world. And when they don't have the answers, then there are none, right? And so a lot of us come in with that warped mindset. And I think that's the first hurdle we must overcome. We have to get out of our own way, get away from your ego. And you say, well, no, I'm coachable and teachable. That's fine. Okay, I hear the word coming out of your mouth. But in order to say that you're coachable and teachable, I have to ask you, who's your coach? Who's your coach? Who are you looking to? See, it's like I did in the neighborhood, just like I did on the prison yard. The first thing I had to do was figure out who it was on that yard or in those circles in the hood who had the influence. And number two, who was I going to pattern myself after? Because see, it's like I used to tell my young homies in prison, there's different types of OGs, right? And you can learn a lot from a person by their correction marks. When I called it correction marks, was all the stab wounds and he busted upside the head. He might have a name. He might be a super soldier. No doubt about it. I know some real killers, but they were always engaged in warfare. I mean, do I really want to travel this dude's path? And if I do, I have to understand it's going to be a bloody path. And there's a lot to live up to. I know some real solid soldiers. Or you got other dudes who have managed to sit at the same round table, have the same sphere of influence, but have not had to go through as much bloodshed. Who did I want to be like? Who did I want to listen to and pattern myself after? Whose student would I be? That was always the first question for me. So when I entered this industry, when Miss Carey invited me to this industry, and when I finally plugged in, the first thing I had to ask myself is, who do I want to be? Who is it above me, right, that I want to duplicate? Whose success would I like to have? And the people whose names first came up in my sphere of influence was Megan Lynch, you know, Reagan Lynch, Dominique Barbie. I can't think of his name right now. But it was those people who were on the compensation chart. I didn't look at the compensation chart. I wanted to look at the people who had already achieve those ranks. Because then I knew it was possible. First of all, right? Why would I want to pattern myself next to the person who just brought me in or next to the person who came in with me and then sit there and chit chat with them about how hard it is, how overwhelming it is? I mean, that's not the way that I've learned to operate. That's like sitting on a prison yard and only talking to my cellie about the problems and how I hate the place and how I'm not doing that. See, my thing was always, whenever I hit any prison yard, and I'm talking maximum security, you know, most of my time was Lewisburg and New Folsom. Pelican Bay and New Folsom. When I hit those yards, I didn't talk about the woe is me. I wanted to see who had to say so on the yard and how was it that he was able to eat. If I looked up and seen he eating steak, you know what I mean? And I'm over here with some little sliver of piece of chicken. I'm like, hold on, how he getting that? How can I be down? How can I get that? You know, and I would learn, oh man, that's such and such, man, oh boy, got the yard, man, he this, that, the other. Okay, well, that's somebody I need to get to know. I like to have a piece of steak too, right? That's always been my attitude. When I was drug dealing, I looked to see who it was that was really getting money. Not the one walking around with the flashy jewels and the big fancy car, but who was really having the money. Who had to say so? So for me, Jacob Mickle was the other person I was thinking of. Jacob Mickle, Megan Lynch, Reagan Lynch, Dominique Barbie. These were the highest compensation earners that I first came aware of. So what I did was, I looked at the compensation. It was Megan Lynch. I was on, I think, my second Zoom or something. I hate Zooms, right? I never wanted to be on Zooms. I didn't want to spend all day on Zooms. But she was talking about her rank. And whatever the numbers were, let's just use the example of, I'm going to say she had 5,000 people, right? And she had made it to that rank in 5 months. Well, I literally took out a pencil and I said to myself, okay, well, if she's got 5,000 people in 5 months, that means she's got 1,000 people a month. That means she basically brought in 250 people a week. And that became my mission. I never tried to figure out how can I find 3. My thing was, okay, how can I get 250 people this week? And if I brought in 210 that week, guess what? That 40 carried over. That meant next week I had to bring 290. So that was always my focus. Now, I'm gonna be honest. It took me 3 months to find 800 people. And at that point, I remember looking at my numbers like a week before that, and I'm thinking like, man, I'm moving too slow. Like, I'm not gonna make these numbers. This isn't gonna work. My numbers were off, right? By a few hundred. I think I was off by like 600 or whatever, because I really kept a running number right there in front of me on my computer. And I'm thinking, I'm too slow, I'm behind, I'm not gonna make pace. You know, what can I do? How can I speed it up? And yet I get on this, I think it was the second or third Zoom ever. And Megan Lynch recognized me and she started speaking to me. And I said to myself, how does this woman know me? Like, yeah, I'm in her distant downline somewhere in her, you know, great grandchildren section or something. I'm like, how does this woman notice me? You know, she called me out by name and we're having this back and forth. And I remember turning to my girl and I'm like, how does this woman know me? Dr. PK spoke my name and was giving me words of encouragement. Well, now I realize that no matter how far somebody may be in your so-called downline, that when a person brings 800 people in 3 months, they get your attention, right? So that's the first thing. And that's why I really love to have the newer people engage and join in on these kind of calls, because it's so important that you come in with the right mindset, that you are really duplicating what it is that you want to achieve. Now, let me be very clear, because there's 2 different ways that we earn money in this company. One is through trading and one is through building. You have to find really what it is that you want, not the coward way out, but what it is that you want and what are you willing to work for? Because let me tell you, there is no easy route to this. There is no easy route to this. And those people who have had the hardest time, at least in my book, are the people who think they're going to come in and do both. I'm just going to do both. Yeah, good luck with that. I haven't seen it work, not yet. I mean, if you happen to know somebody who came in and did both and achieved it, hey, power to them, kudos. I haven't met the person yet. I don't know that story. So I only tell the stories that I know, because you want to be able to duplicate. Now, there are people, I think Coach Renee is on here. I like to tell her story. I often refer to her stories. I think her story is one of the examples, and just one of the examples of how trading has changed her life forever, right? She came in, mother of, single mother trying to figure life out. She had a job, she had bills and responsibilities. But the thing is, she tuned into the trading. She studied it. If my memory serves me correct, she studied her demo account for 3 months. She stayed up at all night sometimes studying until she got it. She didn't just run in here and try to put $50 in and turn it into $1 million. I mean, come on. That's a fantasy. It happens. That's like the one drug dealer who got away from it all and bought his own house and a mansion and a yacht. That's the one drug dealer. I mean, really, you want to be like him? Good luck. See how it works. Or do you want to find something that's sustainable? What Coach Renee did is sustainable. It's real, right? She stayed in her demo, she studied, she practiced, and she understood that what she had could change her and her daughter's life forever. You have to commit yourself whichever way you choose to go. And if that's really what you want, if you say to me, well, Wesley, I'm more of a trader. Okay, I don't want you missing not one trading call. You better be in your back office. If I ask you, where you at in your study session, you should know. You should be that committed to it. Not, well, I look into it every once in a while. Oh, I didn't have time this week. Oh, I had to take the grandkids to the park. I mean, like, really? How bad do you want it? How much are you willing to give up to get it? Right? It's just that simple. And I'm going to tell you this. If you think you're doing both, I'm doing both. I'm good at both. Okay, which one's paying your bills? How long have you been doing it? Because I'm curious. I would love to hear your story. Not right now. We can tell that story one day, though. Feel free to hit me up. You know what I mean? Hit me up, and I'll tell you. My number is 424-302-3302. If you got that story, I need to hear it because I want to tell people that story too. But I want to mostly tell people the story that I see that's easily duplicatable. And that's having a passion for whatever it is you're doing. If you're building, I want to see you studying those charts. Put it all on the line. I'm talking about every waking hour you got. I want you studying this stuff because I know what this industry would do for you if that's truly who you are. And you should never be the one complaining about the subscription costs. Because if that's you, if that's truly you, then understand this. ForEx education is a $72,000 education at Harvard. So if it takes you 3 months of paying $125 a month in order to get a $72,000 education, you better not be talking about no subscription or your account going inactive or the bill is too high. That tells me you ain't studying. You are not plugged into the magic of what trading would do for you, right? So there's that. And then there's the other side, because the same thing is absolutely true. If you're truly a builder, if that's truly who you are, then what builder are you patterning yourself after? What did they do to make it to the rank that they're at? Do you know what rank they're at? Do you know how they got there? Then how are you duplicating them? What did you pick up from them? See, I came in on the building side, first and foremost, because honestly, I'm gonna be very honest. As you guys saw with this Zoom, technology is very challenging for me. It's still a work in progress. I tell you, so anybody says, well, I don't know how to use a phone and I don't know how to use this app or that app. I don't know. Man, you can't tell me you got more problems than Wesley after doing 30 years in prison. You don't have more problems than me, but I'm willing to face the challenge. Just like I did that. I bought my Zoom today, loaded my first Zoom. This is my first meeting on my Zoom. And you see, I can't even get the thing to act right. You see what I'm saying? But it's okay. I'm not overwhelmed by it. See, I'm excited to learn something new. And in the meantime, hey, those who rock with me, y'all gonna see. I'll figure it out. You gotta give me some time. Give me 4, 5, 6 months. I'll be able to figure this thing out. I'll be a Zoom master, right? So point is, identify who it is you're duplicating. And if I ask you who you're duplicating and you can't give me a name, then you're only fooling yourself. Well, I'm duplicating everybody. Okay, how's that working for you? All right, so this here is a builder's call. So what I will be talking about is some of the techniques that I use when I first entered the industry and overcoming those challenges. So one of the things that I will say is this. The magic is in the three-way call. Let's start there because I see it's not being used as much as it used to. Like when I first entered and we first started building our teams, I couldn't stay off my phone. My phone was constantly ringing for three-way calls, right? Way more than it rang for complaints. People were actually looking for help with three-way calls. Now, I will say that as the downline grows bigger, you have more responsibility, more calls to make, and so forth. And that's where duplication comes into play. Because if I love what Rosnick's doing, right? Rosnick was camera shy, like he didn't want to be on Zoom, he didn't want to do no talking. Rosnick didn't want anything. OG Biggie, that's how I know him, right? Wanted nothing to do with none of this stuff. But I see him every day emerging as a leader, facing those challenges, overcoming those odds, right? Because he sees the hope and the promise. And that's the thing I'm telling you. I know this industry works. Network marketing is the second highest paid profession in America. Y'all hear me say it all the time. So if we know that to be true, then how come you're not making money from it? I mean, you got the two most awesome bed brothers, ForEx education and network marketing. Why are you not making money? Why is it that we're seeing so many accounts go inactive? You say, well, they didn't want it, Wes, right? Well, the first thing you have to do, if you invite anybody to this opportunity and you're not plugging them in, they're not a part of the group, shame on you. Because you didn't sign them up for the right reason. You signed them up only to create yourself a rank, right? No, I told them to tune in. They just didn't want to do it. Then you never should have signed them up. Not unless you were planning on building for them. And if you're having trouble building for yourself, I don't see how you thought you was going to build for somebody else, right? That's just the truth. And you can't tell me they was going to learn trading. You cannot tell me, oh, I signed them up because they wanted to learn trading, Wes. Yeah, go tell that story on the mountain. But you can't get them on a Zoom. If you can't get them on a Zoom, you can't get them on a three-way call. Your team isn't learning from the community because they're too busy. They got family, they got business, they got work, they got this. Well, shame on you because you knew this wasn't going to work for them. Because if they're not plugging in and getting the fruits, there's nothing that's going to bring them nourishment, right? So the next point I'll say, because three-way calls, so go back to that, three-way calls. Three-way calls are the magic. Some of you guys have seen the text message that I used when I first joined. We signed up 57 people in 2 days. That's why I began to call it Easy Money Squad. I think that was the time I came up with the name Easy Money Squad. Was 57 people in 2 days. How? Simple message. Hey, if I told you there was a way that you could spend $150 a day and that in a few short weeks of following my example, you will begin to earn $500 a month, every month for the rest of your life, meaning the cost of every car you ever drive, the car don't basically be covered. Is that something that would interest you? Period. When they respond, girl, what you into? Or yeah, heck yeah. That's a three-way call. You get them on the phone with a closer to explain this opportunity and get them signed up. My phone went stupid for 2 days, 57 people. It was a Friday and a Saturday. So why are we not doing that? Why don't I see new copy and paste messages being put out? Why am I not seeing leaders doing three-way calls? Who is the closer for your team? See, if that's the magic, I'm telling you it's the magic. Everybody wants to, I'm gonna send them to an opportunity call, hope they jump on. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Statistically shows, at least from my statistics, I'm gonna give you my statistics. I don't know what you can go and Google and find out, but I can tell you this. Statistically, considering this, most people that go to an opportunity call, in my history, were not signing up. They just weren't, right? But what I will say is that, you know, as a leader, leaders lead from the front, not from the back. Leaders don't tell people what to do. They show people how it's done. You know, go back to my history. If I thought it was going to go all bad in that yard and I thought my soldiers needed to suit up, I didn't say, hey, suit up, guys, go get your knives. You know what I mean? Watch yourselves. No, not Wesley. I went and got my knife and I walked in that yard. I said, come on, y'all, let's ride. They're like, what's up? It's about to go bad. Let's go. I'm in front of that line. I'm going to die with my soldiers. Right? So same thing in this industry. You know, kudos to Miss Carrie Amy. I mean, honestly, I would not be where I am without her. Absolutely. I know it to be true. And I say it all the time, not only because she invited me to this opportunity, because no matter what the challenges were, when we came in, we didn't have people doing our 3 ways for us. We didn't have people doing opportunity calls for us. We didn't have people coming into our group teaching us how to trade. We didn't have all those extra things that we now learn that we need. We didn't have it. But never one time did I ever get on the phone and me and her have a pity party about it. I think we had been in the industry for 2 weeks when we realized that we had brought in, I don't know how many people, 40, 50 people, whatever it was, right? And decided, well, if it's not there, let's create it. So we started doing opportunity calls. And I'm gonna tell y'all, for Wesley, as y'all can see, I didn't know how to do a screen share. I didn't know how to explain the compensation plan. I didn't know enough about the company. But did I care? Did I look at my obstacles? Did I wait until I perfected it before I thought I deserved to be on a Zoom? Heck to the no. I knew I had brought people into something and that I needed to do my part to share with them what I learned as I learned it. And that's where Carrie, Amy, and I we partnered up, we created this thing, and we figured it out like 2 kids in the park. Never once did we complain about what our upline wasn't doing, what our sideline wasn't doing. There was no assistance coming our way. And never once did we complain about it. In fact, I don't even think that we knew I didn't think we even thought we should expect it. I mean, it wasn't ever a concept, right? We just did what we had to do. So that's what leaders do. So when I ask you, who are you duplicating? If you're under us, right? If you're under one of us, me or Miss Carrie Amy, then where's your leadership? Who are you? What are you waiting on? See, do what we did to achieve what we've achieved and do more than what we did to go past us. It's no fun hovering over people. Let me be honest, at least not for Wesley. I don't come from that world. I come from a round table of bosses. And I mean that in the realest way. That's what I'm used to, sitting at a round table of bosses. So I don't want to hover over nobody. I want people sitting, even when I was in a dope game, you know, I want to see you making just as much money as me or more, because if it goes bad for me, guess what? I got somewhere I can turn. I want to learn from you as you learn from me. And that's what this industry is all about. We cheer each other on as we watch each other to succeed. But that only comes with leadership. You have to step out of your comfort zone. That's why I salute Rosnick. I mean, I remember his very first Zoom. I mean, the man was so bashful, he didn't even want to speak, right? But, you know, he understands he has to come out of that if he really wants this. It's not going to come to you and somebody just hand it to you. This is not a world for spoiled brats. You will not succeed in this business if you're some spoiled brat waiting on other people to hand it to you. This is not that. If you think somebody's going to come in and just magically build your downline and going to carry you on their shoulders and you're going to run across the finish line and you're just going to pat them on the head, wrong industry. This ain't that. Okay? This is for those who have always wanted an opportunity and just needed a turn. This is that opportunity. So what are you doing to get out of your comfort zone? Well, I got a life, Wesley. I got family and I got kids and well, why don't you just get your account closed and move on? No biggie, no hardship. See, I don't feel people need to just hang around. I just don't. Talk to your upline, let them know your situation and move on. Why waste your money? Don't waste your money. Nobody's happy to see, I know I'm not. I'm not happy to see people have to pay their monthly subscriptions, because that tells me something went wrong. They didn't get plugged in. They're not learning from it, right? And that's not good for anybody. I mean, honestly, it's just not. I'm starting to see some of these messages. I didn't see all these messages. Okay, so I see some of the comments. I'm just not seeing it. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I mean, so Zoom calls are a very passive way. Going back to that point, it's a very passive way of this industry. It's just enough to say, well, I did my part. I invited them. They didn't show up, right? Or I'll tell you the one that used to kill me. Somebody would send me a list of names for me to call. Well, look, here, call this person, that person, that person. They might be interested. Like, oh, no, 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 no. You know what I do? I copy and paste it, send the message right back. It's not my job to work for you. I'm here to work with you. You see? I got a mic needs to be muted. And so the point is, I think a lot of people have gotten in the habit of sending out Zoom links, right? And then complaining because the people who they sent the Zoom link to didn't show up, or that the people came to the Zoom and they didn't sign up. But let me ask you this, because somebody mute that mic. I mean, can you really say you've done your part? Because let me show you, if you do send somebody to a Zoom, then what? What do you do? First of all, if you send somebody to a Zoom, the best hope you got is going to be a smaller Zoom. The smaller the Zoom, the more interactive the Zoom, the more hope you have of that person getting their questions answered. And in that, the more hope you have of them actually getting signed up. When it comes off as if they're being talked to, right? Being talked at, I should say, just giving a presentation, then good luck, goodbye. It's kind of like a TV commercial. It's not very personable. They don't have much more than what they've got from a video. You could have seen them on YouTube. They didn't have to wait for a Zoom. You know, I'm very adamant about the fact that I believe Zooms should be interactive. Can we mute that mic, please? I think it's Jamal. Can we mute that mic? So, again, the best way is if you're going to bring somebody to a Zoom, I prefer the smaller Zooms. I think they do better, especially if it's a private Zoom. Like if it's going to be 4 or 5 of your friends, you know, you should contact a leader and ask that leader if they can do a private Zoom for you real quick. That way it's more personable. Those 4 or 5 people actually get a conversation and get their questions answered. That's number one. Number two, one of the things that I would do, and I strongly encourage, if you have somebody on the Zoom, communicate with them. Don't just sit there hopeful and happy and keep looking to see if they're still on the call. I mean, come on, do your part. So what would you do if you were watching Empire and your girlfriend was watching Empire and Cookie comes in the room and she says something crazy, right? You're going to text your girl, oh, she's so crazy. Listen to her, she's a fool, right? So you must use, can we watch those mics, please? Zoom user. I don't know, Kerry, thank you. So have interactions with your people while they're on the Zoom. And how do you do it to make sure they're engaged? Take the reverse position. You play as if you're the invite, right? So if they say something about the compensation plan, and let's say, oh, it's 442 to get to the first earning position, or whatever the heck might be, right? Whatever you guys they're talking about on the Zoom. How about action? Oh, I didn't catch that. How many they said that we needed for the first earning position? Now your friend is texting you. Oh, she said 442. Oh, okay, 442. And oh, she said we can use one visionary counts as 3. See, you start asking your invite questions. Number one, it becomes more interactive. Number two, it shows you they're paying attention. Be a student first. And then you'll also be able to see their responses. And that's why 3-way calls are really the most beneficial, because you get to hear where a person's pauses are. You get to hear where they perceive their challenges to be. There's the subliminals that you pick up on that you just can't capture in a Zoom. But if you're interacting with them through the text, at least you get some points to be able to see where their interests were, right? And you make sure they're still tuned in. They might have the Zoom on and they're over there cooking and talking to the kids and hugged up with hubby and everything else. I mean, like, really? Then you're like, hey, girl, you signing up? Oh, no, it sounds interesting, but I'll let you know. So you done wasted an hour of your life sitting here with somebody and that's your response. How you feel? Now it's starting to become overwhelming, right? You didn't send 5, 6 people to 5, 6 different Zooms. You don't sit them there with her for an hour and they ain't signing up. Man, this thing don't work, right? So my point is, Be a part of the experience. Okay. And so let me make a few more points. I'm going to just cover a few more things. I'm not going to drag this out a whole lot because I do have something special I'm getting ready to be doing. And I'll talk about that in a second too. But I do want to cover a few points. So one of the things I want to say, social media. How did I achieve my success? I achieved my success via social media. I didn't have any magic friends who brought in a magic downline. That's not how I made it. Right? I didn't have a person who brought in 100 people. That's not my truth. It's not how it worked. But social media was my weapon. And what did I do? I always went after groups. So for me, coming from Telegram and Susu circles, I knew that there were always people in those Susu circles, those gifting circles, whatever you want to call it, who were truly go-getters. I mean, that one woman brought 10 people to the team. I mean, like, she's always in the chat. Come on, guys. Teamwork makes the dream work, guys. Come on, guys. You know, everybody bring your two. See, so when I joined this opportunity, them were the first people I reached out to. Hey, man, I done found something that's real. Forget that magic bubble of, 36,000 in 45 days. Hey, man, we can come over here and we can make a couple of $100 every week and a weekly paycheck for show money, right? So I reached out to people like that. But let me tell you something about social media. And I think, especially, and I always talk about the pretty girls when I give this example. I think this one of the biggest challenges with pretty girls is you don't put your picture on Telegram. You got some code name, right? You're on your social media with some code name. There's no picture of you because you're afraid, and then you don't have your phone number. You don't have your email. It's like you're just some invisible. You look like a scammer. So when you hit my inbox, and I hate the inbox, right? Hey, you have an open mind? Would you be willing to consider a great opportunity? Like, for real? I ignore those things. And I hate those model looking pictures. Because if you're too pretty for me, if it looks like a model picture, I always think you're a scammer. I mean, just be yourself. If you want, in this industry, people do not join businesses. There's no opportunity that you're going to offer anybody they haven't heard before. So we always say, especially on the network marketing side, people don't join companies, they join people, right? So I got to the point to where I would talk to people and I wouldn't even mention the company. I wanted people to understand you are joining a network marketing team who is vowed to stick together wherever, through whatever, and make sure we got each other's back. Because when you have that kind of commitment, it's like joining, remember, my gang background, my prison background. If it's one thing that I knew, is no matter where we went, no matter what the war might look like, my homies know I got your back. No matter what goes down, no matter how bloody it gets out here, I got you, bro. Let's ride. We don't know how it's going to turn out the other side, but we know we got each other. Let's go. So that's kind of my mindset, even with this. When you're inviting somebody in, how much more comforting is it for this person to understand that they're a part of something that's bigger than them, that they're not just a back office or just a downline? Now, true, everybody doesn't tune in. Everybody doesn't become a part of the family. They pop in here, pop out there, right? And those people you really can't help. I'm be honest. Those people, it's like the homie in the hood who barely comes around. Well, I mean, hey, power to it. But that person who tunes in, who comes around, who always is a part of our family, will understand something. We got your back. You know, you've seen me, Carrie Amy, Daniel, Gabe. You've seen us doing a lot of touring lately. Man, if one of my downline right now puts something together down in Oklahoma City and says, Wes, can you come down here? I'm on a plane and I'm coming. I'm kind of trying to shake the hands of the people I represent. I want to get to meet you guys personally, let you know this is more than just some back office account. This is family. And the more I can lean on you, the more you can lean on me, the more we bond. So that's another thing. So social media, please do yourselves a favor. Get away from the code names. I don't want to know your nickname, your slick name, your side name. You know, put your phone number on it. Because I'm going to tell you, that's another thing. Even when an opportunity did seem appealing to me, if I can't call you and talk to you about it, I'm not sending you my money. Well, just take the link and hit the link and this, yeah, okay, take the link and hit the link, okay, delete. It just doesn't work. You know, one of the things that I would do is whenever I hit somebody's inbox, I would have little catchphrases. such as, right, because I was going after Susu teams, Susu boards, and I know they can only read the first few letters of a message, I would say something like, hey, I have a team of over 97 people who likes to play the boards as well. Can you give me a call? And I'm dropping that to admins, or I'm dropping it to Jennifer in the chat, who's already, she's a go-getter anyway. Now, if she just added herself to that Susu board, she's happy as heck to see that there's a group of people that may be coming under her, right? Fine. My whole objective is to get the person on the phone. You can say, well, that's misleading, Wesley. Well, yeah, because here's the thing. If I inbox you and say, hey, I got a great business opportunity, can you give me a call? You gonna call me? Nope. But the truth is, especially in the beginning, most of us had come from Susu boards. So when I said I had a team over 97, it's very true. We were still scattered on various boards. We were admins on different boards. We had a whole community of people. So what we would do oftentimes is we would show people how to get those boards back moving. We would give them some, and we've had people who've actually, we put people on boards, we sponsored people on board, because of that, most things about people on boards, they've got their little 300 or 400 stuck in that board. They've dedicated their whole life there for 3 or 4 months. They're still believing in the dream. They don't want to hear nothing else, right? Especially the admins. They don't want to hear nothing else. So sometimes you have to, just like when you put medicine in the kids' orange juice, sometimes you got to give them a little bit of what they want in order to get them what they need, right? But if it's one thing that we also knew was that by inviting them to this opportunity, it was truly something that could truly change the life of the people that they led in those communities. So whatever it takes, but again, get out of your way on social media, use the 3-way call, participate on the Zooms. Trying to see what other few pointers I can give you guys. Another thing, especially now that the corona restrictions are lifted, I would love to see more people making this real. Like, if this thing is only real to you whenever you jump on your social media, then you're doing yourself a great disservice. I talk about this thing all the time. I talk about it if I'm in the back of a lift. I talk about it if I'm at the gas station. I'm talking to people, right? And I'll tell you, my movement is ex-cons to icons, reaching out to people on the margins of life, whether it be ex-prisoners, prostitutes, drug dealers, whatever, street boys. I'm trying to show them a different way because I know what this industry does. So that's my mission. So in saying that, I mean, it's as simple as going down to, you can go and sit in front of a testing center where the prisoners on parole are coming down to test. I can tell you for sure, they're fresh home, they're not making much money. They probably either don't have a job or in a job they really don't like, but they're just doing it because they have to have a job to get off parole. Why not talk to him about this? Especially if he's a street boy, right? I mean, most people, Carrie Amy didn't know my past. She didn't even know I had been to prison when she invited me to this opportunity. But I'll tell you this, a street boy understands the value of what we found. It's like, what? Y'all making that kind of money doing that? Are you serious? Like, literally, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've taken and put my life on the line and taken felony riz in order to make half as much money. I mean, like, really? Y'all getting that much money for doing that? Oh man, you got to be kidding me. A street boy understands the magic of this. People, that woman on the block who's been walking around, selling herself, that woman on the pole who's exposing herself and giving her all to try and have a little bit in her pocket to pay the bills. See, they get this. They see this and they say, what? That's all you got to do. The people who are comfortable in life, already have life figured out, they're already paying their bills, they've already made their way. They see it as, oh my God, that's something else I have to do. I don't know if I want to do that. That's too much work. I have a life. They're comfortable. It's hard to get a comfortable person to change, right? When your back is against the wall and you know this is all you got, like literally, this is all I got. From the time I joined this, I stopped working. From the time I joined this opportunity, literally, I had gotten laid off. I was doing DoorDash and some other stuff. Luckily, I had about $18,000 cash put away. So it did allow me the room. I said, you know what? I'm finna really go for this. I'm finna really just go for this. That was the money I had put away, hoping I was going to use that money to save my life, to start my life, literally coming from nothing. But I said, you know what? I see this opportunity as something that might really be worth it. And I had to prove to myself that it didn't work. See, that's how my brain works. So the only way I could prove that is I said, I'm gonna just go hard for 30 days, sleepless nights. I'm just gonna put my all into this thing and I'm gonna see what happens. Lo and behold, in 2 weeks, I was making $250 a week. In 4 weeks, I was making $500 a week. Then I'm like, man, wait a minute, this is $24,000 a year. That's a low income job. Like, what is this? And I kept going. In 3 months, I was making $1,250 a week. In 4 months, I was making $2,500 a week. Man, trust me, I will never work a job ever again in my life. Not that I know this, never. So that brings me to my final point. For those in my team, if you've been watching the post today, I did start a brand new group. It's a beast mode training zone. Beast mode squad is what it's being called. That is not for regular members. I promise you, you do not want to be in that group if you are not willing to go hard. I will be in full drill instructor mode. Somebody hit that mic, please. I will be in full drill instructor mode. I will not be kind. It is a 90-day commitment, and I expect at least 30 days. At least 30 days of going hard. Nothing else in your life takes priority. I don't give a damn. Nothing. If you know you have other obligations and that life is going to take you somewhere, then do yourself a favor. Don't even come. Honestly, don't. I am not looking for a bunch of people in that group. I'm only looking to produce leaders. At the end of this training, after we finish this course, you will be allowed to call yourself a master builder. Because until you learn these tools, you can't teach these tools. So I'm looking for people who really want that. And I don't care if it's just 2 of you guys. I don't care if it's 1 of you guys. This is one of those situations where we're running with the bulls. Because I'm going to tell you right now, as of tomorrow, it starts. I'm going all in, and I'm going to do what I did when I first joined. I'm going to show you guys every step that I use. I'm starting over as if I don't have a downline. I am literally building this thing all over again. Right? So if that's something you want, you guys, I put the message in the chat, but be careful, because I'm telling you, when I go into this zone, I can be pretty harsh, and I push hard, and I will be removing people as it goes. This is a no tolerance zone. So it's kind of like trading, right? It's like I said about Coach Renee and her story. How committed are you? How bad do you want it? Ali did not become a champ at the end of the ring, at the final bell. That's not when champs are made. Champs are made when you get up every morning, when you don't want to get up and you run for hours. Champs are made when you're in the ring and you're taking all those punches. See, the coach can't run out there and save you. Champs are made when somebody hits you in your chin and you fall to your knees and you want to buckle and cry. See, that's when champs are made, because you get back up. And anybody that knows, I mean, I think we all look back, that teacher that pushed the hardest, that drill instructor that pushed the hardest, that coach that pushed the hardest. That's how you make champions. This is a championship training. I'm looking for beasts. I'm not looking for people that just want, can I learn a few things about how I can do this and that? No, that's not for this. That's not where you want to come. This is not for you. Not at all. Don't go in there. I'm telling you. Some of you guys are going to hate me when it's over. And that's okay too. But I will never ask you to do something that I myself won't do. So I need at least a 30-day commitment. In order to enter that, it's going to be a 90-day full commitment. And so I will say, I did talk to Dominique a little earlier today, right? And she's feeling a little better. Her situation is getting a little resolved over there. And when I told her about what my plan was and the things I planned on doing, she's actually joining me on the fight. So she's like, I told her, I want the pretty girls to break their nails and tie up their hair. It's time to go. We're finna get in the mud and just go hard. I want you sleeping with your cell phone, literally. This is a full-on commitment. So for those of you that seen that chat, especially if you're my downline, you're welcome. I will take a couple of others. I don't want a bunch of people because it's going to be that intense. I don't want to have 40, 50 people in this group because I'm going to tell you, I'm dropping you off like flies. If you're not committed, you're gone. But there are a few of you that may not even be in my downline who I really see that are really trying in other ways. And if this is something that you think can benefit you, feel free to reach out at me. You know what I mean? We'll make space for you. It's not a selfish push. I think this can benefit anybody who really wants. Okay, so I'm not going to drag it on too much more. If you guys have any questions, I'll take those, and then we're going to give you guys a chance to walk. What you got? Anybody got any questions?
Of course I have questions. Hey, Wesley.
Hey.
It's Lucretia. So I wrote down a few questions.
Right.
In the beginning, you said that you were texting people. Did you use a text service or you just use your phone and text people one by one?
Okay, so, I text them one by one.
Okay. And then you said that the magic is in the three-way calls. So my question is, what do you do when you don't know who your sponsor is, or if you have a sponsor that's become unresponsive? Who do you reach out to at that point to do three-way calls? Because there are some people that are in that situation here in Increase.
Okay, so first of all, okay, let me cover that in two different ways. First of all, I can say three different ways, because when you first join this opportunity, fire your upline, right? That means only what happens beneath you is benefits you. I think a lot of times what we do, we come in and we feel handicapped by what the person above us didn't do. But that's why I pointed to me and Carrie Amy's story. We never had that conversation, to be honestly. Like, okay, we need somebody to do three ways. Wesley, can you do it? I mean, like, that's how we figured it out, right? So become the three-way call. Now, that's one way of going about it. The second, and I seen that, like, I'm just not reading these chats. Y'all crazy. I'm just reading these chats. I see that private message from you, Mr. Lake. No, I wasn't shooting at you. Like, no, but what? Yeah, you pretty girls, y'all something else. But anyway, no. So the other thing is this: we do have something in the industry called abandonment of upline. Okay, you never want to use that unless it's very serious. But abandonment of upline does allow you to choose a different place. If you really feel you're not getting the resources that you need, I would say reach out at your upline, talk to them, and see what other kind of arrangements could be made. You definitely don't want to start trying to negotiate a new placement without giving them the respect of having that conversation and why you feel what you feel. Maybe they'll become more engaged, right? You want to give them that opportunity. Now, another thing that you can do. So you say, if you don't have anybody do the three ways, it's easy for me to say, hey, just call me. But I don't want to do that because I do have over 1,000 people under me. And, especially what I'm going to do with this team, this intense training, I'm going to make myself 100% available to these people because I have some real intense training I'm about to do. So I don't want to, I can't take from that. They will be given priority. However, I mean, there's a couple that reach out to me to do three ways. And when I'm able, I will. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. So I've been on the road, but I think you got my number. So if I can do it, you can text me. If I can do it, I'll do it for you. But I don't want to make it my obligation. So I would say reach out at your upline and talk to other people who I think.
Okay. So that was a question that was sitting because the truth of the matter is that I am a person that other people call on to do three-way calls for, right? So I get calls all the time. Hey, I'm trying to close this person, and I'll do the three-way calls. I'll give a presentation, and somebody that's not in like my line or the leg that I'm in, they reached out to me. They were like, "Hey, I heard you've been helping people to do three-way calls. Can you do a three-way call for me?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. I've got 20 minutes. No big deal." So I did the three-way call with them, and then the lady did not sign up immediately. So I was like, "Hey, do you feel like there's anything that I could have done better?" Because I'm always looking to grow, so I always ask for feedback when I do anything. And he was like, "The only thing that you did wrong was you asked her to join right now. You should never ask somebody on a three-way call to join right now." So what's your take on that? Because I thought the purpose of the three-way call was to close them immediately, but I just want to know, is it right to try to close them right now, or should I just do a presentation and leave it alone? Because I don't know for
No,
sure.
you always want to give a call to action. All right. So it's always that you want them to join now. You want to give a call to action, and you want to see where they are. That is a very effective strategy, though, because
Okay.
I do that too. I'll, whenever I'm on a three-way, and especially in the beginning, I would always ask when the person, well, that sounds good and it seems cool. Okay, but but let me look into it. I'm gonna get back to you. My first thing was to say, okay, first of all, well, since I am the three-way closer for my team, I think it's important that I understand what I did wrong, and what I did right, so that I can better myself. So any advice you can give me in the future about how to produce, and so you'll be surprised at some of the comments you get, some of the feedback you get. I've actually had people join up after that conversation. So that's very effective. And always keep in mind, even when a close may not go well, they say, oh, it sounds cool, but I'm a little busy. I don't know if I can do it. If it just seems like that's a roadblock, because a lot of times people just say that just to get out the way of it. But I'll say, okay, well, I'm glad you like it so much. And since you don't seem like you're going to be ready for a few days, do you happen to know anybody else who might be interested that you can maybe get me on the phone with? See, never miss an opportunity to ask for a lead. Right. But a closer, and let me be honest. A closer, one thing you want to be careful of, never speak to a trader about trading. About a building, and never speak to a builder about trading. So you kind of want to know who it is you're talking to. It's like I used to say, look, okay, I'm sitting around the corner with the shotgun. I got your back. But don't run around here and just tell me, hey, Wesley, come get this dude. Man, tell me who I'm dealing with. If this dude is 7 foot tall and got 20 people with him, I want to send you around and get me beat up. Let me know who I'm dealing with, right?
Exactly.
Now, if he's 3'5" and I got this, then okay, let's go get him. I'll knock him out. Let's go. You know what I mean? Make my fight easy. Prepare me for what's to come. So you always want to know who it is that you're going to be talking to, so that you know which angle to take, right? Like, for instance, if I'm talking to a street boy, I'm going to use street boy examples. If you tell me, hey, this is a pastor, or I'm going to have a different conversation. I'm going to use religious examples that he can relate to, that connects with him spiritually, right? It's just, you want to talk to people where they are, right? So that's a very big key. But a closer, understand something. You don't have to know. I think, for me, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody got something to say, but I'll tell you this. The worst people to close are the people that know it all. The more you know, I tell you, it is hard as heck to help the intelligent, the smart people in this industry. It is hard. It is hard because they're used to being the person that everybody else turns to. They're used to having all of the dang on answers. They are not coachable and teachable. They are natural leaders, right? They're always going to tell you how they would do it, right? I can't teach you how to do it if you're going to just do it your way. And usually what I'll say, I'll do it Dr. Phil. How is it working for you? If you talk to 10 people and they're not signing up, you can't keep blaming the 10 people. If you've been with 10 different dudes and the relationship keeps going south, you got to ask yourself, what part are you playing in this relationship? Something's going on, right? So, all right. So I hope that helped.
It did. And I think the important takeaways from me were, when I'm doing a three-way call, to definitely ask for referrals. That's something I had not been doing. So thank you for reminding me of that. And that it's okay for me to ask them to, hey, are you in front of your computer right now? If you got another 20 minutes, we can go ahead and get you launched right now. We can go ahead and launch your business, because that's normally what I ask them. And I think I'm going to continue to do that. I just didn't want to not ask for the close, because I feel like that would be a waste of my time to get on a three-way call and not to get the person to pay that $149 or that $425. Like, and then they was telling me I shouldn't even ask people to join at the visionary level. And I'm like, why not? I don't know. I mean, it just makes sense to me to put people in the best position so that they can have the best outcome with the company. Like, okay. So thank you. I appreciate what you were saying.
Wesley, can I ask you something and talk?
What you got?
First, I got a question. Now, what do you say about it? I missed the part when you said something about you text something about a car payment, something like that. You said
it was a script that I had all my team send out. It was a copy and paste script.
What was the script?
It would say something like this, right? Hey, if I told you there was a way that you could spend $150 today, and that in a few short weeks of following my instructions, you will begin to make $500 a month every month. Basically, the cost of your car note. Is that something that would interest you?
Okay, I like that one. I like that one because I use a text ad to text people. I used to do stuff like that. Next, I don't know one Lakeisha was talking about, and I think she did extremely great with the three-way call. Like perfect to the point where I'm always trying to learn how to do it the exact way. And the only reason I said the thing about trying to close them then, I guess, because the company I was in, when we did our stuff, we kept going from presentation to presentation. We showed them the presentation 3 or 4 different ways before we even tried to say, hey, are you willing to get in? Like we took them to a meeting, did a 2-way, 1-way, you know what I'm saying? We did it more ways. And I have had people, when I'm talking to them, when they start saying that, I talk to them later on, they be like, well, I feel like they kind of rush me. Like I got to join right now. I can't join next week or when I get paid and stuff like that. So that's the only reason I was telling her, I think that's the only thing I think
Okay.
was
So
killing
Why you
people.
put your cell phone blast? I wouldn't
Yeah.
never tell
I ain't
nobody it was
scared.
you.
I love you all. I ain't scared to say it was me. I think you did extremely, I mean, better than everybody that I had on a 3-way call. And I do 3-way calls for anybody. You contact me, I promise I'll do it, do the best I can. And I try to teach my people how to do 3-way calls, stand up presentation first week. Cause that's how last company I was in, that's what we did. As soon as you start, we learn to stand up, do your own presentation first week, 3-way calls, second week. We learn to do a start off. So that's how I teach my people, and people bringing in. Some of them got the same background from other companies doing the same way.
right.
Okay.
So
now,
go ahead, Wesley.
so I mean, so you made a couple of important points right there, right? But so I want to start at the beginning, the first point that you made about the 3-way call. Okay, so here's this. If there's one thing that I caution people on is we have a different kind of industry, and your industry is going to tell you what the best approach is for that particular industry, right? So let's talk about that point. I think that the playbook or whatever, right? We have this old script that we use because we follow companies who have been successful in this space, such as Amway, Mary Kay, whatever. So we want to duplicate their model. And so we teach that concept. I'm gonna tell you, when I first joined, I'm going back to me. I'm only telling you what works for Wesley. I'm not telling you what works for everybody. For me, I mean, literally, I still had an old phone book. Remember, I just did 30 years in prison. I literally had an old phone book. And most of the people I knew came from a walk of life that I wasn't trying to go back to. So, and my family, I'm older. So most of my family, even my own mama, I was living with my mother at the time. When she found about it, oh, that's like that pyramid stuff. I mean, it's like, so going to my family and quote unquote friends was not the answer for me. Now, that worked in Mary Kay. It worked in Amway because you could get your grandma's sister's cousin, you know, who just think you're the sweetest, most adorable thing in the world. She might buy that $30 face cream that she could have went to Macy's and bought for $20, $22 because she wants to support you in your little dream, right? That's not this industry. This industry is a little different, a whole lot different. And so what you'll find is those people who are investment minded, or especially the younger crowds, they get it. They know what Forex is. They know what, you know, crypto coins are and so forth, so on. Older people, they're more like me. Man, I don't even know how to use the phone. I don't even use social media. I don't even like people. I don't even have no friends, right? And so it's like I say, if we know that our network is our net worth, and when we say that out of our mouth, it becomes our truth. Because one thing about this industry, right? And it's true anywhere, actually. What people say to you, they will prove to you. If they tell you they have no friends and everybody they know won't want to be interested, trust me, they're going to spend the whole 28 days trying to prove to you to see, I told you, right? So it's kind of a waste of time. So my point is, don't follow old scripts, right? Pattern yourself after people in the industry that you're in and duplicate what you see here because it's a little different. And so I do say push for the close, you know, because that's what's working for me. Now, I can't say what's working for somebody else, but I can tell my whole goal when I joined this opportunity, people always hear me say, I am seriously looking for another Wesley. That's what I want. I want me another Wesley, man, period. So why do I say it? Because you would never have invited me with going to this Zoom call, that Zoom call, this Zoom call. Remember this script? No, Wesley would not have done any of that. No, wrong guy. So when I'm talking to people, I'm talking to them in the space where they are to reach them where they are. Now, if I'm dealing with an investor type, or the one that's interested in crypto, or the person that's interested in learning to trade, well, yeah, I might even send them on a trade and let them catch a few free pips, right? Let them go to one of the coaches' calls and let them actually get a feel for it. Hey, jump on this call. We'll let you get on here one time to see how it's done. Because I know he's looking for the best platform in order to invest. See, so it depends on the person I'm dealing with, first and foremost. But I can tell you, there's people like Rosnick. There's people, I don't know if Gabe is still on here, but there's people like Mark, right? There's people like Curtis. These are some of the strongest leaders in our team. They had all been approached about the opportunity before I spoke to them. I was not the first person that spoke to them about the opportunity, but they didn't sign up. And I'm gonna tell you, each one of those persons that I mentioned, when I finally spoke to them and got them to sign up, you know what their biggest complaint was? Trading. They did not. I remember one of the guys told me, he said, man, I know all about that. Man, I'm not gonna be sitting here on no computer and learning. I'm gonna tell you who it was. I don't like speaking behind people's back. Is he on here? Let me see. Because I don't like speaking behind nobody's back. I'm gonna put him on blast. But he ain't on here. I'm still gonna put him on blast. So it was Mark, right? Somebody mute your mic, please. All right. So it was Mark. And when I first, I had been talking to Mark low-key through text for a couple of months before he finally joined. But one day we got on the phone and we're talking, and I'm trying to get him to join. He's like, man, no, man, I'm cool on all that. Man, I'm not going to be, man, I'm a truck driver. I'm not going to be sitting up in here looking at no charts and trying to figure out with no computer and a phone and all this old technology, man, and trying to catch a pip. And I'm not doing none of that. Right? He was adamant about it. And like I told him, I say, bro, there's two ways to earn in this company. You're a natural networker. You know people. Like, I've seen your movement. I knew him from a Susu board. I'm like, I've seen your movement. Bro, I said, just by bringing people to the opportunity, right, you can make money from that side by itself. What you mean? I said, bro, all I need is 5 minutes of your life. I know you're a busy guy. Give me 5 minutes of your life. Take 5 minutes to sign up and then get me on the phone with 3 other people who would also be willing to spend 5 minutes to change their life. And we're done. Can you do at least that part? Oh, well, yeah, I can do that. I said, then you in. Let me go ahead and get you a link. He said, all right, yeah, go ahead and send me the link, man. Right. And that was the moment that he joined me on this mission. You have to speak to people where they are. Right. Now, I can tell you, it's funny now because just last week, Mark started learning how to trade. And so those that's in the group, they know the story, right? He's been having some rough goes at it. But the point is, you have to meet people where they are so that they see what you see. He saw the value of the building. The same thing happened with Gabe, Rosnick, Curtis, some of the strongest leaders in our group. Each one of them had been approached before. I spoke, man, look, people had gone out to Gabe's house, sat with Gabe and talked to him about it for hours, talked to him about it for a month and a half before I came along. I talked to Gabe and in 5 minutes, he was so excited. He's like, man, that's all it takes. Man, I didn't know that. Hold up, let me get off this phone. He said, let me call Daniel right quick. I'm like, whoa, right? Well, no, Daniel was the first one mentioning it to me, man. So I said, no, do your stuff, bro. In 5 minutes. See, sometimes when you give people too much information or give them the wrong information, then they don't receive any information. So I look for people that are like me, that may not otherwise be interested in the whole crypto, ripto, swipto, but they still want to make some money. And then what happens, right, is we get in this industry, like, don't get me wrong, now I know what a Bitcoin is. Now I see all the wonders of trading. And now I'm finally ready to become a student of that. And I'm about to learn that part too, because I'm not leaving no money on the table. You feel what I'm saying? But you have to speak to people where they are. And again, be passionate about one thing first, whether it be the trading or the building. Be so passionate that it pays your bills. Go so hard with that one side first that it actually pays your bills. Then the rest comes easy. All right, anything else? Let me see if
Hey,
any
Wes,
questions.
I have a question. I know I've spoken with you before. I think the last time we tried to speak and your phone kind of went out, but I was asking, one of my hangups that I keep getting is I get a lot of people that's interested. I'm getting people, yeah, me, I'm interested. I would do it. What, how does it work? And then, they get all into the, yeah, I'm ready to sign up. And then they get to the whole, oh, it's $150. And then they go to, well, let me get back to you. So you mentioned earlier, of course, asking people like, I'm building my own team, asking them, where did I go wrong? Where did you, kind of get to the point where he's like, okay, now I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this again because it sounded legit, but if I gotta pay money, that sounds more like a scheme. Like I gotta pay this money. So do you have like any tips, any concerns, like maybe how I should word it when we're talking about like the monthly membership, things like that? Because I've tried all other things. Like I've told like but that's not, my point is to, help you make that back or, wherever they're at, whatever their concern is, to talk to them about it. But maybe do you have any suggestions, or maybe is that those people not really the right people for us, or they're not really ready for it to do it? Don't waste my time.
Well, that's the truth. Also, it depends on what I get out that person. I can tell you, I think I got one of my partners on here now who I was after for a couple of months, and he finally just joined. Let me see if he's on here. But anyway, so here's what I say to that. I'm trying to catch
I'm still here.
Huh? You on here?
Yep, I'm still here, bro.
There you go. All right. So he's the one I was after for a while, right? And so I shared different concepts. He inboxed me. We talked about it. I think it was like a couple of months go by. Every once in a while, I follow up with a text. What people need to see is the wonders of the opportunity. And it's like a drug addict. Until they're ready, it's nothing you can do to help them. Right? So do you really want the burden? But what do I say? Let me tell you what I say to people, because I'm a street boy, right? What I tell people all the time, look, if you got to spend more time thinking about a business opportunity that could potentially change your life than you spend on a $150 bag of weed or $150 pair of shoes or $150 Poochie purse, then something's wrong. Like, obviously, you're not really ready. So hit me up when you are. And usually that starts a conversation. Oh, you're so crazy. Why you say that? No, I'm serious. $150 can change your life and the life of your loved one. Don't tell me you'll do anything in the world for your kids when you won't step up and make a sacrifice, when you won't go a sleepless night, when you won't spend $150. Don't tell me you do anything. Don't say anything.
Right.
Say you'll do some things, okay? Because we know what this industry does.
Okay.
I hit them where they are.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't say all that. No, you didn't say any of that. But I'm telling you, that's how I received it. But hey, I had one lady, she did that to me. Well, I'm gonna look at whatever. I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna let you know. And I was on a 3-way close. And so what I told her on that one, I said, okay, well, I don't know what you research. What I'm offering is the opportunity to be a part of a network marketing team. So what are you researching? We are a new team. We've only been around, I think at the time, we've been around like 2 months. I said, we're a new team. We've been around 2 months. We've grown to, I think we had like 1,600 people under us at the time. And I said, the only thing I'm offering you the opportunity to do is be a part of a team. Because let's be honest, most network marketing teams have gone to several companies along the journey. There's been some hardships. This is our third company. And I want to be honest, I am super happy to be a part of the increase. Like, this has been like the most glorious attachment for our team that I could imagine. The people are just awesome. The compensation plan is great. The back office is workable. And the owners are just some wonderful people. And the vision of this company and where it's going, I don't know if you guys know, but there's been some meetings that's been happening lately. I can't go into a lot of conversations about it because there are non-disclosure agreements involved, but I can tell you, there's some exciting times ahead for increase, and I am excited to be a part of that. However, when I'm on a close, I give people understand the value of being a part of a family, of a team that has your back. Like you tell me, oh, I don't know about $150. Like, look, don't worry about $150. Don't let that be the thing that gets in your way. If you promise to tune into the community, and really do your part, we have master traders will help to show you how to make that money back in no time. If you promise to tune into the community, you will have the resources available that will help you to build your downline in no time, because we never, ever want you to have to pay a monthly subscription. So all the tools are here. All the support you need is here. It's up to you. Now, if you're telling me that you're going to spend $150 and you're not going to come around, then I say to you the same thing. Yeah, you're right. Save your money. Go ahead and kick rocks. Good luck. Take care. Call me when you change. So I don't cut corners. I'm pretty straight up.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel like, I get a lot of people, and they're so I did have one lady. I have one lady right now. Actually, I've been talking to her for a while, but she said, she trusted a lot of companies, and basically, she had a bad experience. She had people to make money off of her, and so she's really hesitant.
Right.
And my thing is, of course, it's a fine line between selling people and really getting people on my team that is actually going to do the work. Because like you said, I'm the same way. I don't want you if you're not going to come and actually try to do the work and actually be on the Zoom, even just get on the Zoom call. If you're not going to do that, then great. Hey, thanks for being honest. I don't need you. I don't want you. It's all good. I don't say it like that, but
the worst thing,
still,
well, I'm gonna be honest. If it's one thing that I know, the worst thing that you can do, is bring a pity party. Some people, I've seen it happen. They bring their family and friends, bring their homegirls who, oh yeah, we can do it together, girl. And then they all sit there and do nothing. And they all call each other and complain about how hard it is, right? You don't want to bring a pity party to your downline. You don't want to do that. Man, that is some stressful stuff. Oh, that's some stressful stuff. I used to hate those calls because I'm so fired up. I love what I'm doing. I have a passion for what I'm doing. That's another thing. Have the passion in your voice. If you truly love what you're doing and you know the magic of what you're offering, you don't have to sell it, right? And because people want to be connected to that, I don't know how people. We were at the castle. What was it? Last weekend. Last weekend, we were at the castle in LA. We had the yacht party and whatever. And I kept saying to Tiffany DeBerry, I'm like, how do people not want this? Like, how do people not want tens of thousands of dollars a month and living the life they dream of, flying around the country? We in this mansion, that mansion. We on that yacht, this castle. How do people not want this? I just don't get it. But the truth is, right? Everybody's not meant to do well in this world. There's always going to be people who work. There's always going to be drug addicts. There's always going to be homeless. There's always going to be those people who sit around and complain about working 2 jobs and being exhausted and barely making do. They're waiting to go to the other side where they'll get their golden robes and milk and honey, whatever that stuff they got coming. They're waiting, and that's fine. It's sad, but it's fine. I said to that woman on that closing call, going back to what I was saying earlier, is she was like, I'm gonna look into it. And I said, well, I don't understand what you're looking into. We're a baby team. So what do you research? No, well, I wanted to research the company. Like, how long the company? I'm not actually to join a company. I'm actually to join us and to trust the fact that we got your back. That's what I'm offering you. The opportunity to really change your life. But if you just need to go do that, that's fine. I don't know what you expect to see. Like I told her, I said, if I told you that McDonald's was hiring and they're going to pay you $2,000 a week, and you say, well, I'm gonna go look into the company. Are you gonna go look and see who the owner was of McDonald's that you're working at? Are you gonna look back in history and see that back in 1992, they had a rat fall from the ceiling and fell into the fryer and ended up in somebody's burrito? Like, what do you care?
Right.
The only question you should have is, are they paying you as they should pay you, right? And are they still hiring? What are you looking for? I said, but that's fine. Do what you feel you need to do. I said, but let me tell you how I feel. When I said, I'm a closer for my team. And that means my team looks up to me. They expect me to be able to get the job done. I said, so let me tell you how I feel. To me, it's just like if I seen some young dude on the corner with the pistol in his belt and the drugs in his pocket. Right? And so I said, I go down to the corner, I say, bro, look what I found, man. Look. man, come on, bro. Let me show you. Let me get you away from that. Let me show you something different. And he says to me, oh, yeah, OG, it seemed cool. I'll let you know. I'm going to look into it. I'll get back to you. But then I come back a week later and he's dead or he's in prison. I said, that's how I feel whenever I offer a person this opportunity and they don't see the magic that I see. But I don't expect everybody to see it. So, you know, but I will say, at the end of that call, she did sign up. And sadly, since she has gone inactive and gone away, you know, but my point is, and it goes back to the point, she never tuned in, you know, and I'm very big on that. I'm very big on that. What I do not respect is people who bring people into this industry and then do not plug them into the tools. Now, I can't make the person come to the groups. I can't make you tune into the community. I cannot make you learn, but what I can do is at least give you the link and show you, hey, you have a whole team waiting on you, waiting to wrap arms around you and run with you to the finish line. It's up to them if they want it. But when I see people invite people to this opportunity and they don't even add them to our chats, they're not even getting the links for the information, then I blame the person. You are not a good leader. You recruited that person for your own selfish reasons in order to get yourself a rank. Shame on you. All right, so that's what I got on that. Anybody else any other questions?
I do want to say to that lady and everybody else, you can call me for 3-way. You can call me for anything you think I can help you with. I just post my number in the chat. It don't matter what it is. Hit my phone. Do you on my team or not? Just call me.
Okay.
Mishan, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Mishan, this is bad. I'm in Atlanta. Where are you? Are you in Atlanta too? Or are you in a different state?
I'm in North Carolina.
In North Carolina? Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Let me just stop for a second. Man, Mishan, that dude's a go-getter, man. I really want to give him his props. You know, we met in Atlanta. It was the match in Atlanta, right, Mishan?
Yeah, I met you in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I just seen you on Coco, yeah.
Right. But he came in the room. We were down by the pool table, and he was real quiet, right?
I was listening.
But I'll say this. I've watched him since I've come back from Atlanta. That dude is a real go-getter. I mean, really, y'all want to connect with his energy. He really wants this. He's created a Facebook group, man. You guys, matter of fact, you can post the link in the group if you want in the chat. But
if I can figure out how to do it.
Or anybody can text you and get it or whatever.
Yeah, I just post my number in the chat. So
okay, cool. Yeah. So that, you guys, I'm gonna tell you something, man. What I love about Mishan, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I steal a lot of the resources that dude posts. He posted so many resources in his Facebook chat that he's created. And this is available for anybody throughout the network. He does not try to ban anybody, isolate it. He shares it with everybody. There's so many resources for building, so many resources for trade. I'm like, where does this dude find all this stuff? He's constantly dropping stuff in that chat. He is a natural leader.
I came from training, so I knew some of the people. I got people on my team that knew some. They be telling me stuff like I said, the company I was in for, I loved it. That training, boy, I missed that training more than the whole company.
Right. And it's important. And because I'll be honest, the building side especially is a very lonely side. Now, if you're a trader, we got a million resources for you. We got a whole back office for you. We got videos everywhere. We got Zoom calls everywhere. We got coaches everywhere. But when it comes to building, you're kind of on your own, right? So it's important to share those resources, those motivations, those, how-tos, because those are the hardest part. Nobody's there to answer those questions, but we all say that is the hardest part of this whole thing. So I love what you do, bro. I don't comment in the group, but I do watch what you do. I'm constantly, I go in at least 4 or 5 times just to watch the interactions. And I love what you're doing over there. So just wanted to let you know, I give you props for that, right? Because that's what it takes in this industry. What I'll say is, for me, one of the keys to my success was, it's sort of like they say in the rap game. I picked the weakness in the rap game and sold it, right? Well, when I came in the industry, what I said, I looked around and I said, nobody's really talking about the building. Nobody's really teaching people how to network. So I started branding myself. Right? Hashtag proud builder, proud builder. It's almost shameful to call yourself a builder. Most people will either say I'm a trader or I'm both. Nobody wants to call themselves just a dumb builder, right? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna claim this lane. I'm gonna make it my own. right? And so I branded myself with that. I picked the weakness in the rap game and sold it because it's really needed. We really need to do more of these calls, more leaders to step up, do your own calls, talk about what works for you, because there's, just like in trading, different traders use different methods, right? So the same thing is true with building. We all have our different methods and share whatever's useful. All right, cool. Anybody else any questions? Okay. All right. So if there's other questions, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short, you guys. But I will say, man, what you put into this is what you'll get out of it. This is a magical industry. It really is. I look at the amount of money that's being made so quickly. I don't know any other industry where I could have given myself $10,000 a month paycheck in a 4-month period of time. You know, I just don't know. You don't get it. What am I saying? What happened? Somebody, okay. You say, Laverne, you say you don't get something? I'm sorry. Oh, you don't get why people don't want to join. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just not seeing somebody's message. All right. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and end it, but I'm gonna say to you guys this, man. You get out of this what you put into it. I promise you, this will change your life. You have a magical pot of gold sitting right here in front of you. How bad do you want it? Are you going to just sit here and watch us all gather up all the gold, or do you want your share? Right? If a bag,
I like that one.
If a bag of $100 bills fell off a Brinks truck and you see 100 people running over there, you gonna just watch us, or you come to get your cut? I mean, it's up to you. You can say, "But that ain't right. That don't make no sense." Okay, you sit on the sideline. Wesley going to get his. You
I'm about to use all your notes. Somebody use all your. People gonna think I'm Wesley.
Right? Good. That's what duplication is. Right?
I like that one. That's a good one. I like that one.
Let a bag of $100 fall about that truck. Y'all gonna have a problem getting up in there because I'm gonna be all over that bag. I'm trying to take the whole bag while you're playing, right? How bad do you want it? This is it. I don't know any industry, and I'm not telling you it's the best thing in the world. I'm not telling you it competes or compares with some other opportunity. I can only tell you what this industry has done for my life. Man, I never in a million years, I never in 30 years could have imagined I'd come home to something like this. How bad do you want it? There are no obstacles. I had no friends, family. I didn't know technology. I had no time until I saw what this was, right? So again, I go back to the fact, and I'm gonna leave it with this. Don't say you'll do anything in the world for yourself or anything in the world for those you love if you're not willing to do everything in the world. With that, man, I wish you guys well on this journey, and I hope you guys have the best success.
And you say your next training you doing like this is Wednesday at 8 o'clock. That's what you said.
Look, you didn't put a stamp on
That's
me.
what I heard.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you
Next Monday, huh? I think I got to start one day.
I am gonna start doing more trainings. Carrie Amy's been on me about that. You know, I do need to step up and do my part. I'm really going to be going in. I'm not doing no. Well, I got to do a couple more traveling events I got to do, but it don't matter. I'm going beast mode nonstop, even while I'm on these little vacation, or not vacation, but on these traveling trips I got to go on because I'm on tour right now. But it's still 100% beast mode. So you will see more trainings. I don't want to put exact time on it, and I've also committed to doing. I'm going back to doing my ex-cons to icons presentation with Gabe and Rosnick. And, you know, so I've also doing something with Increase. You're going to start seeing the leaders of Increase are going to start doing increased opportunity calls. We're going on a blitz. Again, I did talk to Dominique, and Dominique has decided to join me on this mission. She's like, Wesley, you know what? I need that myself. Let's go. So, I mean, here's the person that I admired coming into this industry. She's agreed to partner with me on this run. So like I said, all the pretty girls, break your nails, tie your hair up. We going crazy with it. I'm going to see who the real beasts are. This is a strict beast mode hunt. I'm not looking and I'm not playing. It's 100%, and I'm pushing all balls to the wall. So if you're ready for a championship fight, this is what it is. And I promise you, you do not want to be in here if you're thin-skinned, because I am not the kindest dude when I get in this mode. I want hungry people only, people that are committed. So if that's you, I mean, it's open to everybody in my downline. But those who are not in my downline, feel free to reach out at me and we'll try to make space, because I'm telling you, everybody that starts is not going to finish. I promise you that. I know for sure. This is more like the elite, like the special forces. You know, everybody that joins is not going to make it at the end. It's going to be just that harsh. But I promise you this, those who make it at the end will be stronger than Navy SEALs when it comes to this. Because even as I share what I know, I'm going to be learning myself. And as I learn, I'm going to be teaching and sharing. It's going to be an all-in approach, and we're going to learn from each other. Steel sharpens steel. So let's go. All right, guys. Appreciate the call. Any other questions? I'm going to go ahead and end it.
I'm ready to get this money. Let's go, bro.
Let's get it. The live trading calls, I see Smiley. The live trading calls, check with your team leads about what's available for your community, because we have so many trading calls that are available. They're everywhere. And then they're in the back office as well, in your increased back office. So this is more of the training. So it's how to recruit. It's mostly my focus. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions before we go? If I miss anything in the chat, feel free to unmute and speak your truth, because I might have missed it. All right, guys. So thanks for your time. Share the information. Let's go. Oh, did we not have people in here? My bad. Tiffany, you just getting in? Oh, well, missed it. Sorry. The copy of the Zoom. Here, take my number down, because I don't know. I got to ask Carrie Amy how to get it. Take my number down. It's 424. Here, I'm gonna text it and put it in the chat right quick. Text me and I'll try to figure out how to get the recording. I don't know how to do that stuff yet, but I had to ask Miss Carrie Amy help me out. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Give it your all, and I promise it'll give us all back to you. This is definitely that industry. Oh, what was the big announcement? Okay, so the big announcement, really, I wanted to let Dominique kind of explain it a little more, but she's got, I even forgot the name of it, but she's got some special training that she wants to share that she's pretty excited about. So I'm gonna tell you, I didn't write it down. I talked to her right before the call, so my brain didn't capture it. I'm sorry, but she's going to be more available now. Things are becoming a little more stable. So she's about to fly home in the next day or two. And when she gets home, she'll be more available and you'll be able to ask her directly. Sorry about that. I didn't capture information. My brain was doing too many things. That's on me. But mostly we're all committing ourselves to go back and build from scratch to show how easy this really is. I mean, a lot of times I think once we get to higher levels, people seem to feel as if, oh, well, yeah, it works for you because you got lucky or this and that and the other. So I got something to prove. I got to prove to myself that I can still do this. I mean, I've done it 2 or 3 times already, but I'm going to do it differently this time. I'm going to actually do the same thing I did when I first started. I'm going all in with no sleep. I'm going all in back from scratch, acting as if I don't have a single person under me, starting with my 3 and the whole bit. I'm going all in, and I'm going to be using my link, so it's going to be known who did it. All right, no other questions. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you jumping on the call. Please share with your teams. The chat for trades. Glenda, so you're in our chat. We got so much trade information in our chat right now. We got master traders in our chat. Check our chat. Check the $1 Million Mindset chat. I mean, we got so much trade information. Man, yeah. We got Coach Renee in there that's been helping our team. It's been crazy, crazy, crazy. We got so much chat. So yeah, definitely check out what's going on inside the group. We got a lot going on for our group as far as the trading concern. All right, yeah, trying to catch any other questions if I missed anything. Other than that, oh, have you been sick? I didn't know you've been sick. I hope you feel better over there, Glenda. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end it, guys. I think I got all the questions. If I didn't, I'm sorry. All right, you guys have a good night.